Okay, so for this related rates ladder problem, what we're trying to do is figure out the rate at which this ladder is falling away from the wall. So what we're given is that this ladder is 10 feet long and the distance from the wall is 8 feet. And we're also given that when this ladder is falling, the rate at which it's falling on the x-axis would be 4 feet per second, which is the same thing as dx over dt. So what we're trying to figure out, this h is like the rate at which this is falling from, which is dh over dt. So the first thing that we're going to do is figure out what h is, which is just the Pythagorean theorem. And we know that it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle because 4 goes into 8, 5 goes into 10. So 3 would go into 6. So we know that h is equal to 6 feet. And that's going to help us later. So the second thing that we're going to do is do another Pythagorean theorem, but we're actually going to take the derivative of it. So what we know from this is that x squared plus h squared equals 100. That's just a regular Pythagorean theorem. And what we're going to do to figure out dh dt is take the derivative of both sides of this. So we're just going to do d over dx of this and d over dx of that. So this would end up turning into 2x times dx over dt because of the chain rule, and then h squared would turn into 2h times dh over dt, and then the derivative of a constant is just 0. So this is what we have right here. And we know x, we know dx over dt, and we know h, and we're trying to figure out what dh over dt is. So we're just going to plug in what we know, which would be 2x, we know is 8 feet, so 2 times 8 times dx over dt, which we are given to be 4 feet per second. So this would be 4 plus 2 times h, which we figured out was 6, times what we don't know, which is dh over dt, is equal to 0. So 2 times 8 times 4 is 64, plus 12 dh over dt equals 0. And then bring over the 64, so 12 dh over dt would be negative 64, and dh over dt would equal negative 64 over 12, which simplifies to negative 16 over 3. So our dh over dt would be equal to negative 16 over 3 feet per second. So what this is saying, dh dt, is that number, negative 16 over 3 feet per second, is how fast, or the rate at which this ladder is falling vertically from this wall. And it's negative because it's falling and this h is getting shorter. So that's how you do that.